Padre Pio once whispered of a time when the heavens would darken, when the earth itself would tremble, and when the faithful would face the greatest test of their lives. He said it would happen suddenly, without warning. And yet, the signs would be all around us, if only we had the eyes to see them. Right now, in our own time, those signs are beginning to appear. They are subtle, but undeniable. And if Padre Pio was right, and history has proven he often was, then what comes next will change the world forever. Before we go further, I want to hear from you. If you have ever felt deep inside that something big is coming, something you can't quite explain, write yes in the comments right now. Because today, we are going to uncover the prophecy of Padre Pio, what he saw, what it means for us today, and how it may already be unfolding before our eyes. Padre Pio was no ordinary priest. He bore the stigmata, the wounds of Christ, on his own body for 50 years. He could read hearts as if they were open books. He performed miracles that doctors could not explain. And perhaps most striking of all, he was given visions of events yet to come. One of these visions, a prophecy, was so profound, so intense, that he only revealed it to a few people he deeply trusted. It spoke of a time of great shaking, not just in the earth, but in the hearts of men and women across the world. For decades, the details of this prophecy remained in whispers, passed quietly among the faithful. But over the years, pieces of it began to surface, and what they reveal is both terrifying and deeply hopeful. Today we will walk through the key parts of this prophecy, step by step, matching Padre Pio's words with the events and spiritual shifts we are seeing right now. Padre Pio spoke of a day when the world would seem to stop. The skies would grow dim, not from a storm or eclipse, but from something far deeper, as spiritual darkness. He described this moment as a kind of great silence, where everything familiar would suddenly feel different. What's striking is that many mystics across history have spoken of a similar event, a sudden pause, a break in the rhythm of daily life, when God allows humanity to see itself as it truly is. Some believe this could be a global awakening of conscience, a moment when every soul will be confronted with the truth of its own life, its own choices. And if this is true, then the events we've been living through, the chaos, the confusion, the fear, may be the early tremors before that pause. In times like these, Padre Pio urged people to cling to prayer. He once said, "Pray, hope, and don't worry. Worry is useless. God is merciful and will hear your prayer." Before the prophecy's main event, Padre Pio described signs that would serve as warnings. These included a moral collapse, families breaking apart, faith being mocked, the sacred being treated as nothing more than a story from the past. He warned that even nature would begin to rebel. Strange weather, unexpected disasters, seasons that seemed to lose their order. Not as punishments, but as reminders, wake-up calls, that humanity was drifting further from God. When we look at our world today, from the increasing divisions among people to the instability of the earth itself, it's hard not to see parallels. But Padre Pio did not give these signs to frighten us. He gave them to prepare us. Because the next part of his prophecy is what truly matters, the call to act before it's too late. Padre Pio foresaw a period when darkness would cover the earth, not just physically but spiritually. He described 3 days of deep trial, a time when those without faith would be in despair, while those with faith would be tested to their core. He urged the faithful to stay in prayer, to keep blessed objects in their homes, to trust God even when everything seemed lost. These instructions weren't symbolic, they were practical. Padre Pio knew that faith in times of light is easy, but in times of darkness, faith becomes a battle. Right now we may not be in those days yet, but many believe we are approaching them. And if that's true, the question is not, will they come? But will we be ready? If you believe prayer is our strongest weapon in times like these, write "pray" in the comments. Because every comment here is like a candle, we're lighting them together across the world. In the midst of this prophecy's warnings, Padre Pio also revealed a promise. After the trial, after the darkness, there would come a time of renewal. A time when faith would burn brighter than before, when families would be restored, when hearts would turn back to God in ways unseen for generations. This is why his prophecy, while intense, is not a message of despair. It is a message of transformation. The darkness, he said, would not last forever. It would pass like a storm, leaving the air clearer, the soul lighter. This part of the prophecy is often overlooked because people focus only on the warning. But Padre Pio's vision was always anchored in hope, because he saw not only the trial but the dawn that follows. Padre Pio's words were not just about events, they were about the condition of the soul. He believed the greatest preparation was not in storing food or securing walls, but in purifying the heart. Forgive those you have not forgiven. Make peace with God through confession. Pray daily, not as a ritual but as a lifeline. Read the Gospels. Help those in need without expecting anything in return. Because in the end, no prophecy can harm a heart that is rooted in God's love. The trial will test the world, but it will also reveal who we truly are. So, what does this mean for us today? It means the signs are here, the warnings have been given, and the choice is ours. But there is one more part of Padre Pio's prophecy that few have heard. A part that speaks of a final event. Something that could arrive without notice, and once it begins, nothing will be the same again. That will be the subject of my next video. Until then, remember Padre Pio's words: pray, hope, and don't worry. The prophecy of Padre Pio is not a story meant to sit in the pages of history. It is a living message, one that reaches across decades to touch us right now. Whether we are standing at the very edge of its fulfillment or still in the days of preparation, its call is the same: to awaken, to turn back to God, and to walk with courage in the light of faith. The signs are here, but what we choose to do with them is up to us. We may feel powerless in the face of a world that seems to be unraveling, but Padre Pio's life reminds us that even the smallest act of faith can shift the course of destiny. A whispered prayer in the dark. A moment of forgiveness when it feels impossible. A choice to hope when fear wants to take control. These are the true weapons of the soul, and they are in your hands right now. If this message has stirred something in your heart, if you feel the weight of these words, don't let it fade when the video ends. Act on it. Strengthen your spiritual life. Prepare your soul for the days ahead. And share this message so that others may also awaken to the truth before it is too late. Together, we can be the light that pushes back the darkness. Before you go, I want you to do one thing for me, and for everyone watching. In the comments, type yes if you believe that Padre Pio's prophecy holds meaning for our time. Let's fill this space with a wave of faith and hope that can be seen around the world. Your single word may inspire someone else to open their heart, and that could be the first step toward the renewal Padre Pio promised.